Hello and welcome to another edition of News Showcase. I am Priya, Tamil Nadu's first artificial intelligence news presenter. Dozens of people were sent to hospital in Chennai after toxic gas leaked from a fertilizer plant Tuesday night. Reports said more than 200 others were evacuated from areas around the factory in Ennore. Reports further said ammonium phosphate potash sulfate was found to have leaked from the storage terminal at the Coromandel International Plant. The leak was noticed shortly before midnight after gas bubbles appeared on a pipeline and a pungent smell set off a scare in villages around it. Reports said 16 ambulances were sent to the scene. An environment official said workers at the factory controlled the leak in about 20 minutes. Reports said the Tamil Nadu government has ordered Coromandel Fertilizer to suspend operations at its plant in the wake of the gas leak. It said a committee has been formed to investigate the incident and further action will be decided on the findings of the panel. Health Minister Subramanian visited the state-run Stanley Hospital, where about 50 people were given first aid and detailed examination reports said the minister consoled them and wished them quick recovery. The leak caused nausea and vomiting among the affected people. Coromandel International said in a statement that safety procedures were activated immediately, the leak was fixed, and normalcy was restored in the shortest possible time. In a separate accident in Chennai, a worker died when a boiler exploded at a plant of the energy firm, Indian Oil Corporation. Reports said 4 other workers suffered injuries in the blast, which was initially blamed on an oil leak. The injured were taken to Stanley Hospital for treatment. The facility loads and ships fuel in tankers to other parts of India. According to reports, employees ran to safety when the blast occurred at the plant in the north of Chennai, which is home to several factories and refineries. Police said an investigation is underway to find out what caused the blast. Protesters backing the wider use of Kannada language in Karnataka state staged violent protests in Bengaluru city. They are demanding that authorities immediately enforce a government order which wanted businesses to switch to signboards in local Kannada language. According to the order, the rule comes into force only in March, and those who do not comply will face legal action. Protesters forcibly brought down signboards that were not in the local language, and in one incident, they stormed a hotel and ripped off signboards in English. Reports said protesters were also seen outside the city's airport. In October, Chief Minister Siddaramaiah said, everyone living in the state should learn Kannada language. The Chief Minister had made similar calls when he ran the state government previously. This morning, Rahul Gandhi met with disheartened Indian wrestlers in Haryana after they strongly protested the recent appointment of a tainted wrestling official. Top wrestlers Bajrang Punia, Vinesh Phogat and Sakshi Malik have said they would return their coveted national awards to protest the election of Sanjay Singh as president of the Wrestling Federation of India. Singh is a close aide of his predecessor Brij Bhushan Singh, who is accused of sexual misconduct. Malik feared that sexual harassment of female wrestlers would continue under the new president and announced that she was quitting the sport. In January, wrestlers staged public protests in Delhi and demanded the removal of Brij Bhushan Singh, who is also a lawmaker of the BJP. In the latest development in the wrestling row, a temporary panel has been formed just days after the government suspended the Wrestling Federation of India. The panel formed by the Indian Olympic Association will run the affairs of the federation till the standoff with protesting wrestlers are resolved. The panel will have 3 members, headed by Bhupinder Singh Bajwa. The Congress Party's Rahul Gandhi is set to lead a second march connecting the eastern and western parts of the country. The Bharat Nyaya Yatra from Manipur to Mumbai, across 6,000 kilometers, will be launched on the 6th of January and conclude on the 20th of March. The Congress Party said the march will cover 14 states and 85 districts aimed at connecting with the voters. The march comes ahead of India's general election due early next year. Gandhi led a similar march from the country's north to the south 2 years ago, which is believed to have helped the Congress Party win elections in the southern states of Karnataka and Haryana this year. Heavy fog engulfed cities in the north of India as more than 100 commercial flights were disrupted in Delhi Wednesday morning. The Indian Weather Service predicted very dense fog over Punjab, Haryana, Delhi, UP, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. Visibility dropped to 0 in the city of Amritsar in Punjab. The rail network was also hit as trains were delayed or cancelled in the region. 1 person was killed and 12 others were injured in accidents on the Agra-Lucknow Expressway. In Bareilly, a truck crashed into a house along the highway, but there were no reports of casualties. Commuters heading to work and students experienced problems as visibility was down to just 50 meters in many cities. India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh visited troops in Jammu and Kashmir after 3 civilians detained by the army were found dead last week. The civilians were among many detained by the army after 4 soldiers died in an ambush by insurgents in Poonch district recently. Reports said a brigade commander is under investigation over the deaths of the civilians. Singh told the troops that they are the protectors of the country and it was also their responsibility to win the hearts of the people. To avert mass protests against the deaths, authorities ordered an internet blackout in the region. Jammu and Kashmir has been the scene of gun battles between Indian troops and separatist insurgents since 1988. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's YouTube channel has set a record as the most subscribed among the world's politicians. Media reports quoting surveys said his account crossed the 20 million mark on Tuesday, with others trailing far behind. In terms of views, Modi dominated the list, with 2.24 billion views till December 2023. Brazil's ex-president Jair Bolsonaro was the second highest, with 6.4 million subscriptions, and President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine was third, with 1.1 million. The world's most powerful leader, U.S. President Joe Biden, had only 749,000 subscribers and stood fourth on the list. Reports said Modi's success on YouTube reflected his extensive global appeal. Israel has urged its nationals who are visiting or living in India to follow safety precautions. The advisory comes after a small explosion outside the Israeli embassy in Delhi Tuesday evening. The advisory suggested Israelis to avoid places frequented by them in Delhi and other parts of India. It also advised them to avoid crowded places that are not secure and not to display anything that revealed their nationality. Israelis were also urged to avoid posting personal information on social media. Reports said the explosion near the embassy was probably an attack to condemn Israel's action in the Gaza war. They said an abusive letter addressed to the Israeli ambassador was also found at the site of the incident. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas has called the war in Gaza a grave crime against the Palestinian people. In his first interview to a TV channel since the war began, Abbas said the war was unprecedented in the history of the Palestinian people. He said, Gaza has become unrecognizable now and warned that occupied West Bank, which is governed by his Palestinian Authority, could implode any time. President Abbas said the war is beyond a catastrophe and beyond a war of annihilation. The Palestinian leader accused the U.S. of prolonging the war by vetoing UN draft resolutions, which called for a ceasefire. The war began in early October after Hamas, which governs Gaza, attacked Israel's southern border. Gaza and West Bank are Palestinian enclaves occupied by Israel. Aerospace experts have said the Malaysian flight MH370, which went missing nearly 10 years ago, could be found in days if there was a new search. During a lecture in London, a pair of specialists said the plane was probably hijacked by its own pilot, who was very experienced. They believed the plane was purposefully hijacked and downed in the deep ocean. The experts said the plane's cabin was depressurized to produce minimal debris on impact. Flight MH370 with 227 passengers and 12 crew members disappeared on March 8, 2014, after leaving Kuala Lumpur Airport en route to Beijing, China. The experts called on the Malaysian and Australian authorities to launch a new search for the wreckage of the airliner. Apple has said it will appeal a US ban on imports and sales of its Series 9 and Ultra 2 smartwatches. The move comes after the US government declined to lift a ban on the products in a patent dispute. The US International Trade Commission banned the watches after medical device maker Masimo accused Apple of poaching its employees and technology. Masimo said the White House's decision marks a significant moment. Most versions of Apple's smartwatches have included the disputed blood oxygen feature since 2020, but its lower-cost SE model does not. Previously sold watches will also not be affected by the ban. Smartwatches are among Apple's biggest revenue earners in the US and around the world. Thank you for watching. I am Priya, Tamil Nadu's first artificial intelligence news presenter. Do tune in, same time tomorrow, for a roundup of the latest news and updates in India and around the world.